All right, it's what you've been waiting for. Your 5 players to claim off waivers this week, starting with the breakout of Sunday, Branden Oliver.
Branden Oliver, yeah, huge game. Almost 200 all-purpose yards last week for Branden Oliver. So it's reasonable to ask, why the hell were the Chargers playing Donald Brown so long in his 1.9 yards per carry? Brown was awful in this offense, and Oliver, nothing short of electric last week. He's a human bowling ball, and he ran through the Jets defense and entered this week as the NFL's #1 rush unit. His 114 rushing yards was more than the combined totals of the previous Jets opponents, Matt Forte, Eddie Lacy, and Darren McFadden and Maurice Jones-Drew combined. Donald Brown suffered a concussion last Sunday, and his status for this week is currently unknown, but it probably doesn't matter because Oliver was dramatically better than Brown. Now, as for Ryan Matthews, who's tied to this whole thing, he's believed to still be a couple of weeks away from returning. But when Matthews gets back, I see Oliver taking the Danny Woodhead role in this offense and remaining on the field regularly. So in terms of free agency blind bidding, I think you can be pretty aggressive here. And I think Oliver's going to be somebody that can help you the rest of the way out. I'd bid 20% of your cap.
All right, it's next man up in the Broncos backfield. One guy to maybe look for, C.J. Anderson.
Yeah, C.J. Anderson is my preferred choice over Ronnie Hillman. Let's talk about him a little bit. Moneyball's out for an extended period, probably around a month, and that certainly opens the door for another running back, and C.J. Anderson will be in the mix. Now, he was a healthy scratch last week, but that's mostly because he doesn't play special teams. He's short, he's powerful, he's built for goal line use. That's why I'm giving him the initial edge over Ronnie Hillman from a fantasy standpoint. I do expect Hillman to get probably as many or more plays, and he'll catch more passes, though. So you'll want to know your scoring system before you bid here. C.J. Anderson's my preferred guy for touchdowns, assuming there are any to be had. As Monty Ball owners can tell you, there's not necessarily a lot of rushing touchdowns to be had in this offense. So from a free agency blind bidding amount here, I would go maybe 7% on C.J. Anderson, knowing that he's only going to be able to help you for probably in a 3, maybe 4 weeks, and then it's a timeshare.
All right, before Moneyball was in Denver, Ronnie Hillman kind of fumbled away the opportunity to have that job.
Yeah, he did.
But now he's getting a second crack at it and finds himself on the waiver wire again.
Yeah, so again, Moneyball's out with the groin injury, and he's going to miss some time. And you know what Ronnie Hillman brings, I think, is he'll be on the field some. He gives you outside speed, so he can cut around the edges a little bit. He can catch a lot of passes, and he's better as a pass blocker. So I do think he gets on the field a fair amount, but I don't see him getting goal line work. That's going to be C.J. Anderson. I do think he gets playing time and he gets receptions. So, know your scoring system in a PPR format. He's probably better than C.J. Anderson. But let's note this. The Broncos' offensive line has been awful in run blocking. And I don't think Hillman's going to run the ball any better than Ball did and probably worse than C.J. Anderson will. So I'm lukewarm here on a free agency blind bidding amount, Mike. I'm saying maybe 5%.
All right, Odell Beckham makes his NFL debut and finds the end zone on day 1.
Yeah, in his first action since his hamstring injury cost him really 2 months of work, he made a big splash in his first game. His touchdown catch last Sunday was really pretty, and he caught 4 of the 5 balls that went his way. Beckham looks like he's going to get plenty of playing time eventually. Now, here's what I want you to think about with this, though, especially from a playing time standpoint. With Victor Cruz almost always playing in the slot, that means that Ruben Randle and Odell Beckham will be starting on the outside, so that means he should get some playing time here. Now, it had been Preston Parker filling in for Beckham, but I don't think Parker's going to hold off the first rounder for very long. So I think you can be a little bit aggressive here on Beckham. He'll probably never be a first or second target for Eli Manning, but as a third or fourth guy with a lot of talent and upside, he's probably worth 5% of your blind bidding pool.
All right, if you're looking for a quarterback, this guy is a name that you've seen on the ticker the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
Just blowing it up. Austin Davis with the Rams.
Got to start believing in Austin Davis. I mean, if he's going to keep doing this, it's impossible not to be impressed with Austin Davis's season, and in particular his game last week. So in the game, he was really wobbly early in the game, and his team fell behind badly, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is going to be the real Austin Davis, and we're going to see him just unravel before our eyes. But instead, Davis rallied his team from a 34-7 deficit all the way back to a 34-28 nail-biter. Along the way, Davis threw for 375 yards and 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. I mean, what kind of third stringer does that? 375, 3 touchdowns, and 0 picks. I'm not ready to start carving his bust in Canton, but the kid looks totally legit. Here's the catch, though. His next month of opponents are really tough. San Francisco twice, Seattle once. I'm not sure you're going to feel great about starting him more than once or twice between now and Thanksgiving. So that subdues how much I would bid on him in free agency, maybe around 5% of my cap.
All right, so Branden Oliver, C.J. Anderson, Ronnie Hillman, Odell Beckham, and Austin Davis are Charch's top 5 free agents to claim this week. There's 9 of them right now at fantasyvictory.com, so go submit your claims right now.